Thank you for joining me on another edition, another download, another audio, another visual of me sharing some information with you on how you can buy property and real estate itself, generally houses particularly, for yourself as an investment with virtually no down payment or no down payment at all, with no interest rate, no bank trying to tell you to give you approval, without using your personal FICO score, no personal recourse. Doesn't this sound great? And many times in discounts of up to 70%. Yes, because I'm doing it. I have done it, and I'm continuing to do it today. And you can too. I'll just tell you something. We bought a house recently where the guy came up and he gave me a phone call. Now, how come he gave me the phone calls? Because I had mailed out a little card, and I send those out periodically, and he got this little card that says, "Hi, my name's Don. I'm buying houses in the area. I'd like to buy one in your neighborhood." Why? Because it's a good neighborhood. Why not? You live here. Would you be so kind as to send somebody to me that would like to sell their home, not list it, because I'm not a realtor. I'm only interested in buying property. Give me a call, and I'll happily make it worth your while. Check me out. Make me prove it. You'll be excited that you made the phone call. And people will call me and say, "I got your card in mail. I want to sell my house." This man called me up and he said, "Hi, I got your card in the mail." And I said, "Yes, whom I got the pleasure of speaking with, and what's the address of the house you want me to buy, and how soon would you like to make this happen?" And we had our normal little talk that we discussed. And he said, "Well, my wife died a year ago." I said, "I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences to you." He goes, "No, probate was over yesterday. The year is up. I'm out of here." I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "I got a guy coming up from San Diego, that's coming up from the San Diego area. I've already talked to him. It's an estate sale company. He's going to buy all my stuff, and he's going to have a yard sale, and then the balance of the proceeds are going to go to him minus his fees." And I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yes, everything in my house." "And when's this going to happen?" "Next week." I said, "Well, what about the house itself and everything in the house?" And he said, "Well, I'm wanting to sell the house too, but he said he'll make me an offer on it, but to wait for him, he'll be there later this afternoon around 6 o'clock. And I said, "Oh, well, I'm quite a ways away when this is all going on. I'm like 2 hours away, almost 2 hours, an hour and a half." And I said, "Well, I'm right around the corner. How about that you just give me a minute and I'll finish up what I'm doing and I'll come see you right now. We might be saving this guy his trip because I will buy your house." And he said, "Well, that was a pretty strong statement." He said, "What?" I said, I will buy your house." And he said, "Great, as long as everything you tell me is accurate and it's financially, responsible of me to buy it. Absolutely, I'll buy your house. Would you like to sit down and talk to me?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Great, I'll be there as soon as I'm done here." He said, "That'd be great. When can I expect you?" I said, "Well, call the other guy and schedule him for tomorrow, because you have something else going on, and I'll be there between 20 minutes and at the most an hour and a half." And he goes, "Okay, I'll wait for you." I said, "Thank you." Get all your house papers together, get them on the kitchen table. So this man, we'll call him Jerry because that's his name, he does do that. And I meet him, and I go to his house, and I meet with him. I said, "Jerry, what's the problem? Why are you in such a hurry?" And he goes, "Well, probate ended, and I've been wanting to move to another state to be with my daughter and my son. And right now, this wasn't the place for me to be, and I'm all by myself, and I have no one, and so I don't want to be here." And I said, "Okay, I would be happy to buy the house from you. Now, you owe the bank some money, and then you have some that's yours, which is your equity." He goes, "Right." And I said, "Okay, well, let's do this. I'll buy the house from you for what you paid the bank, and the part that you owe, the part that's yours, I'll give to you over a little bit of time until I can get the house settled. But I'll buy it with everything in it. As is, where is. Clothes, dishes, silverware, everything. Your car in the driveway, the tools in the garage. You just step out, take your car keys, a little gas money, and the cash from me, and be on your way." And I said, "As a matter of fact, I'd like to talk to your daughter and let her know to get the room ready for you." And he goes, "Really?" I said, "Absolutely. Let's get that room ready for you." And that's what we did. So he sold me the house on the terms I wanted. I never went to the bank. I never got permission from anybody. I never paid any commissions to anybody. I went directly to the escrow company. I went directly to the title company. My down payment was my closing costs. He carried the balance on a note with no interest where I had to pay him $400 a month. I rented the house for $1,500 a month. My payment, including his bank purchase, was $1,000 a month. So I was way ahead of the gun, making $500 a month just saying thank you to him. $6,000 a year. I did have to do some minor upgrades and clean underneath the house, which cost me about $2,500 at the time in order to rent that house. And I bought it subject to his existing loan with Bank of America. And they couldn't stop it because we know how to do those things. It's exciting. And so can you, and that's what you get to learn. So right at this moment, I want you to learn something else. Jerry sold me the house because Jerry had to get out of town. Jerry wanted to live with his daughter. Jerry lost his lifetime mate, which was his wife, God forbid, that was his wife. Jerry was retired. He didn't need the money. Jerry had everything he owned paid for except for his house. He had a couple of small credit card debts for going out and having dinner. And he'd been in the house by himself alone with him and his family, his wife's clothes for a year, and he has just had enough and he wants to live some more. So he moved to Phoenix, Arizona to be with his daughter. His daughter called me up and said, "Thank you for helping my dad." All the realtors wanted was the commissions, and they weren't interested in trying to help me get where I needed to be. How did I get him where he needed to be? Oh yes. When we bought everything in the house, we bought everything in the house. And because he didn't want me to make a profit on it, I gave it away to a local charity, which is what the other guy said he was. And they came and cleaned the house out, but left me with the house. And that's what I wanted, the house. Worked out for everyone. And Jerry got himself a U-Haul. He loaded up a few minor items, his personal possessions, put his car behind it, and he drove off. And I said, "Thank you, Jerry." And he left with his daughter. And I paid this guy, Jerry, until he called me and I called him and I said, "Jerry, I got a little extra money. Now, I know I owe you some money, but would you be willing to take $25,000 off that note that I'm carrying for you if I could come up with an extra $5,000 now?" And he said, "No." Worth a try. All around great deal. So I wanted to share that with you because it's just me solving a problem for somebody else. And you can do it too. So join me on this next bit of information on how you can do it with zero interest every time. Thank you.